All right.
Cole, as if getting to know Shane Waldron a little bit better, what stands out to you about just kind of the way he operates?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously a really smart dude, and I think, you guys been able to see that through his play calling in the preseason games. But, I've been impressed by how he installs and how he teaches the offense, and I think it really gets through well to the players. So, obviously a really smart dude, a guy that likes to use a ton of different personnel groupings, and we've seen that throughout camp, which has been really cool, putting guys in good positions that they can succeed in. So all those type of things. But just really been impressed with his teaching aspect and teaching guys football in the right way, and obviously having some rookies that really helps out.
What is it about his teaching style that kind of gets through to you?
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything specific I can really pinpoint, but it's direct, straightforward, to the point. And it just seems to get through to everybody. So I think when you can do that, and it's a sign of a good teacher and a good coach, and I think he's shown that throughout camp.
Well, you guys have been in camp for a long time. You still have a little bit of time before the season
Yeah.
begins. What feels different, I guess, at this stage this year for you than last year or the seasons before?
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I look around and we just got a ton of good players everywhere. Whether that's offense, defense, special teams. I mean, you look at our punt. I'm amazed by our punter. Watching our punter punt every day. It's like he has a 9-iron and a 6-iron in the bag at any time he wants it. It's pretty crazy. But no, I just think there's a lot of depth everywhere, and I think that was evident in the preseason games with how we did, and us going 4-0 in those games, and being pretty dominant in most of those wins. I think that there's a lot of depth throughout the roster, and I'm sure the roster cuts the other day or today and the other day weren't too easy on Ryan, but that just means that he put together a pretty deep roster, and I like what I see all around.
What do you do from a physical and mental standpoint now in this lull week?
Yeah.
Week 1 of the season?
I wrote just a lot of rest and recovery. Try and mentally get away from it this weekend once we get off after these 2 practices here. But so it's just a good time to reset before we really get going. And you try and break up the season when you look at your schedule into different parts. And I think the first part is kind of grinding through up until after that London game where you get the bye week. So just kind of coming ready to go when we get back for week 1, and understanding that whatever it is, 7-8 weeks until we hit that bye week. That's kind of that first chunk and first section you got to worry about, and then you kind of take a little reset from there and worry about the next block. But a lot of just rest, recovery, and getting the mind off football a little bit.
Well, there's been a pretty thorough overhaul of the organization since you got here.
Yeah.
All the way up to team president.
Yeah.
How do you feel as someone who has a significant investment in how this goes?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way the organization is run now?
Yeah, well, it's since Kevin's gotten here, and you can feel the energy from other aspects in the building, whether it's in the cafeteria or you're hearing from people in the media department, whatever it is. There's a different culture around the building, it seems like, and you got to give some of that to Kevin in terms of people that he's brought in, and maybe the structure that he's in place here. So you definitely feel that, and there's just a new energy with all the people that we have in here. So that's been really cool to see, and it's been a stark difference since I got here my first year to now. So
What about on the football side, Ryan and Matt, the current Ryan and Matt?
the current no, it's been good. I think the first year with Flus implementing kind of his culture, there's always a little bit of culture shock with everybody, and it's new and it's different. But I think Coach and Ryan have done a good job of bringing in guys that are going to buy into this type of culture. You just look at the guys that they drafted this past year with Caleb and Rome. I can't think of 2 better guys personality wise that could fit into this locker room. So I don't think there's a lot of guys across the league that would necessarily fit in here that could understand the way we work every day in practice, and kind of the grind we go through. But you got to have guys that are willing to accept that and take that challenge on. And I think Ryan's done a good job of bringing those guys in, and Flus has done an awesome job of implementing that type of culture.
You mentioned Caleb and Rome. What don't rookies know about just climbing the mountain during the regular season that they're going to learn here in the next?
Yeah, to me, I think the rookie wall is so real. It happens to, I think, everybody at a certain point, whether someone wants to admit it or not. You just don't really know when that'll hit, and you can kind of get through it a little bit, but it's gonna hit, and it hits hard, and it's a long season, and especially with them coming in early with the long. I know we talk about the long camp, but I mean, that's real. That's another, week and a half of the season, and it just seems to kind of, extend it a little bit. But that rookie wall is real, and you just got to kind of find a way to push through that and lean on your vets and just kind of take it that way.
Both those guys are gonna have really prominent roles on your
Yeah.
team, obviously. How do you, as their teammates, balance the fact that they're rookies and that there's gonna be ups and downs, but also you guys are built to, try to squeeze the most out of every single game?
Yeah, no, I think, look, at the end of the day, there's a reason why they're here at this point now. They don't need to be babied or anything in that sense, but we're going to be here for them to lean on. And, we got a good receptive group of veterans, I think. And I think that's the luxury of when you're a rookie and you come into a situation, I think that we have, you can lean on other guys. You don't have to do it all yourself in year one, which I think is a big deal. So, I think for those guys, just leaning on the vets that we have, and I think that'll help them guide them throughout the whole season.
As an extension of your answer to Jason's question, with Matt, you've watched him kind of grow into his role over the years. Where have you seen him get the strongest as a head coach, and I guess where are you most curious to see him operate in season 3 with this?
Yeah, well, I think just like being in front of the team, from like our first team meeting till now, just a big difference. Obviously, there's just a level of comfort from doing it over and over again. I'm sure that's also been reflected when you guys see from him up here. I'm sure he's gotten better and better, just as he's gotten better and better in front of the team. So communicating with the team, he's gotten better with, and all those things that you need to be really good at as a head coach that maybe you don't have to do as an offensive coordinator or defense coordinator, that when you're in the head coaching role now that you have to do. I just seen him improve and flourish in those things, and the players have been really receptive of that.
This year that you're eager to see from him as you guys try to climb into that more competitive
From
role?
coach in particular? Yeah, I mean, just him continuing to be him, really. I think he stays true to himself, which we all respect, and I think that's why, last year when things started off not so great, I think we all really had his back, and we all feel that for him. So, just him being him, and I think at the end of the day, now we got the talent that we got. We as players got to take part of ownership of this thing and take this thing over. But just Flus continue to be Flus, and letting us kind of flourish in our roles.
You become one of the best players in the league at your position, but now with all these weapons around you, probably for the first time, you mentioned as like the 4th, 5th weapon when people start to list all the guys you got. Is that exciting about what that could mean in terms of opening up things for you, or how the defense may be going about trying to take you away, and how much time they spending in preparation for what you bring?
Yeah, I mean, look, if I get more open looks, that's great. At the end of the day, I just think that helps us win more games. So if that means my target share goes down and we win more games, I am all for that. It's been a long 4 years of losing for the most part since I've been here, and I'm really excited about what we got offensively all around. And I think a lot of guys were going to play off each other. So if they're going to be rotating over to DJ, I think that's going to obviously help Keenan and Rome. If they're taking away the outside with the receivers, you got inside with the tight ends, and obviously you got a run game to account for as well. So the main thing is just excelling in the role that they give you each and every week, and I look forward to doing that, and I think that's going to result in a lot of wins this year.
Back to Pat's question about the rookie wall with Kane specifically. What do you guys as veterans have to do when he hits that wall, knowing that him hitting the wall could maybe cost you playoffs?
It's weird. It's like in a sense there's not much you can do but other than be there for him, and it's something that he just has to work through, and you have to work through as a rookie, and it's hard. It's hard, and you hope that that's delayed as much as possible, and look, I'm sure he'll tell you he'll never hit the rookie wall, but I'm sure he'll look back on his rookie season and be like, okay, that's kind of where I started feeling it a little bit, and but the main thing is, like I said, is for us to be there for him, and there's things as an individual and as a player that you also just kind of have to work through yourself, and but the big thing will just be leaning on his teammates.
You remember when you hit yours? Sorry.
Yeah, Aaron. Mine was the weekend after Jacksonville. I remember it. Yeah, I went home and I was like, "Holy shit, we still got 3 more weeks left. This is crazy." And then I think it was the playoffs that year too. It was a long year. It felt like a long year, but yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Congrats, you finished the video. If you want to build on that success, download the NBC Sports Chicago app. It's got highlights, exclusive insights, and push alerts tailored to you. Everything you need to be a real Chicago sports fan. Download it now.